Thank you, Bernard. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Shaoyang. I'm from Zijin Mining. And it's my great pleasure to be able to speak at Indaba today. And I would like to thank the conference organizers for providing this opportunity. This is going to be my first time attending Indaba in person. I did attend virtually last year, but it's always good to be able to see people and to be able to have an in-phase discussion. And in the morning that I did attend a few sections and just realized the word you use was a conversation. I thought it was going to be a corporate presentation, but I do learn something. And as I said, I'm happy to have a chance to further discuss with our peers in the industry. All right, so firstly, I would like to make a brief introduction about Zijin. Apparently, not everybody in the room is familiar with the company. Zijin started 30 years ago as a single gold asset company in China. And today, it has become one of the largest diversified mining companies in the world, with operations and mining assets in 16 countries across Asia, Europe, Africa, Oceania, and South America. So the company now is a major producer of copper, gold, and zinc, and also an emerging producer of lithium. The company is listed on Shanghai Stock Exchange and Hong Kong Stock Exchange with the most recent market cap of approximately $60 billion. So in recent years, the company has grown rapidly in both of its major mining segments, copper and gold. By volume of mining production in 2023, Zijin was the world's fifth largest producer of copper and also one of the top 10 gold producers in the world. In particular, Zijin has been the world's largest contributor of net copper production increase in the past 5 years. In 2018, Zijin produced about 250,000 tons of copper, but by 2023, the company would hit the milestone of producing 1 million tons of copper. So that was a 300% increase in 5 years, delivering a 32% compound annual growth rate. So while during this 5 years, the total copper output globally did not really grow much. So the company's gold production also grew significantly in the past 5 years, growing from 1.2 million ounces of gold in 2018 to about 2.2 million ounces in 2023, representing 13% of compound annual growth rate. So Zijin holds a diversified and future-facing metals portfolio with continued focus on copper and gold, while also producing sizable amount of zinc, silver, and other metals. And with 4 lithium projects under development, Zijin is also becoming an emerging major lithium producer. In today's new energy transition era, it is anticipated that critical minerals like copper, nickel, and lithium will enjoy strong demand increase. We have witnessed the phenomenon growth of green energy industry, in particularly EVs, in recent years, which has led to big demand increase in these key metals. So while copper demand in conventional application will increase by only moderate amount, it is forecast that usage of copper in new energy transaction will grow from about 1.8 million tons in 2021 to 7.2 million tons in 2030, and almost 3 times the demand increase in a decade. So as a major copper producer, we are, as well as a producer of other industrial metals, we believe that we are very well positioned to benefit from this new energy transition trend and will continue contributing to the resilience of the global supply chain. So in the past many years, the company has developed effective in-house proprietary technical, operational, and managerial expertise that enable the company to develop projects in an efficient manner. Zijin owns or co-owns 3 of the world's top 10 newly discovered copper deposits in the past 2 decades, namely Kamoa-Kakula in DRC, Timok mine in Zambia, and Julong mine in Western China. All these 3 are among the largest in the world that were developed in recent years. The 3 projects were all commissioned in year 2021. And we together, with our partners, have overcome significant amount of challenges caused by the COVID-19 pandemic during that period. So 2023 was the second full year of production for these 3 world-class projects. And on 100% basis, these 3 mines combined produce about 700,000 tons of copper, making some of the largest contributions to the world total copper output in that period. Moving forward, Zijin will continue with robust growth in the coming 5 years. For copper, on top of 2023's production of 1 million tons, our guidance for 2024 and 2025 will be 1.1 and 1.2 million tons respectively, and by 2028, we should be able to hit 1.5 million tons target. So with this growth plan, there will be a 50% increase in 5 years, or about 8% of compound annual growth rate. Our gold production will grow from 2.2 million ounces in 2023 to 3.2 million ounces in 2028. Also about 8% of compound annual growth rate. The other strong growth driver for the company will be our lithium sector. We will start producing sellable lithium products this year, and next year, year 2025, our target is to produce around 100,000 tons of lithium carbonate equivalent, and potentially making Zijin one of the largest lithium producers as well. Zijin takes ESG seriously. We have taken an integral, sustainable, and deliverable approach to address environmental, social, and governance issues. For us, we need the support of the communities where we operate is paramount for the success of our operations. We have made significant contribution to facilitate social and economic developments for the host communities and made efforts to fulfill our obligation in community development, employee creation, and sourcing of local supplies. We also have developed programs to improve local education, healthcare, and essential infrastructure. The company's mission of development for all and mining for a better society has been very well received across the whole jurisdictions where we operate. We are taking active steps as a part of global actions against climate change. Zijin announced the Climate Change Action Plan in 2023, committing to peaking carbon emissions by 2029 and achieving carbon neutrality by 2050. The company is taking steps across the whole group to reduce the use of fossil fuels in our mines and plants and promote the use of renewable energy and low carbon technology as much as technically possible. By 2030, more than 30% of energy we consume will come from renewable sources. We are committed to reducing our intensity of greenhouse gas emission. Based on 2020 levels, we plan to reduce 20% of emission per unit of value added by 2025 and by 38% by 2030. So now comes to Africa. Apparently, Africa is endowed with mineral resources of all kinds. It holds some of the world's largest resources of critical minerals like copper, nickel, cobalt, and lithium. They are important for global economy, as well as for the new energy transition. And apparently that we all know that mining industry is one of the most important economic growth engines for many countries in the continent. So Africa is, in fact, the second largest copper producing continent, and DRC and Zambia are among two of the top 10 copper producing countries in the world. Year 2023, the continent contributed about 19% of the world total copper output. And Africa is also a leading gold producer. South Africa, Ghana, Mali, Burkina Faso, and Tanzania are among the world's largest gold producing countries. The continent is key to Zijin's long-term growth strategy. We operate in 3 countries in the continent, in DRC, in Eritrea, and in South Africa. And apparently, we will be looking for further opportunities to invest in the continent. The Commus copper cobalt mine in Kowezi, DRC is the first mine Zijin built in Africa. We started building the mine in early 2015, and it took us about 24 months to bring the mine into production. So in year 2023, the mine produced 127 tons of copper and 2.3 thousand tons of copper. The 2023 production guidance will be similar to the production results of 2023. The other projects we operate in DRC, I believe, is better known to a lot of people in the industry. The Kamoa-Kakula copper mine is jointly owned and operated by Zijin and Ivanhoe mines. In 2023, the mine produced 393,000 tons of copper, and production in 2024 will be increased to over 440,000 tons. So with the completion of phase 3, the production of the mine should be able to increase to over 600,000 tons, making the mine one of the largest in the world and certainly the largest in the continent. It is also worth noting that the mine will be among the world's lowest greenhouse gas emitters per unit of metals produced. In Eritrea, we operate the Bisha zinc copper mine. The mine is the largest producing mine and one of the most important sources of revenue in the country. The mine produced 120,000 tons of copper, 120,000 tons of zinc, and 17,000 tons of copper in 2023. In 2024, the production of zinc will be similar to that of 2023, but the copper production will be increased to around 20,000 tons. In South Africa, we are developing the Garatau platinum group metals project. The mine contains 1,300 tons of platinum group metals. And once operational, apparently, and the mine will for sure make significant economic and social contribution to the country, particularly to the local communities. So next, I'm going to be touching the topic about the future of the global mining industry. Apparently, this topic is something that our peers in the industry are very interested in, and apparently that there are different views as to how we should really progress the industry as a whole. and particularly in light of the recent signs of the globalization and segmentation of markets, if you like, if you will. And because most of us agree that international cooperation has been a key driver for the growth of the industry in the past many decades. As we all know that the mineral resources worldwide are distributed unevenly, and on the one hand, developed nations and the key emerging industrial countries do not mine much of the minerals, but consume most of them. And on the other hand, many resource-rich countries need capital investment, mining and industrial technology, as well as operational expertise from the more advanced economy to help explore resources and develop mines. We believe that it should be the market force that decides allocation of these economic resources and inputs. So global supply chains, instead of breakup of market, we believe is important for robust growth of the world economy, as well as for the well-being of the global mining industry. So when I came over here, today when I look at the agenda, and very interesting in find out the first question put forward in the agenda was, should African miners look east or west, or is the South on its own? My view is that no country, certainly no mining company in Africa should be asked to pick a side. Because we all know that we need to work together, and working together is going to be the best way for the mining industry. Internationally, efficient capital markets are imperative for funding of the mine developments across the globe. New York, London, Sydney, Toronto, and Hong Kong stock exchanges are very important for the funding of the mining industry. I think most of our peers in the industry agree that market-based cross-border transactions with no political interference have benefited all parties and contributed to better allocation of resources for project development and mining operations. We believe international collaboration serves best interest of all stakeholders, including local communities, governments, employees, investors, and should be allowed to do so freely. Zijin is not only a contributor to global mining industry, but also a beneficiary from working closely with our partners across many countries, including those from Africa, South America, Australia, Canada, United States, and indeed here in the UK. We definitely look forward to the continued cooperation and partnership. So finally, I would like to conclude my presentation by reiterating my strong belief of free market principles and advocate for continued international cooperation. And after all, particularly here in London, Indaba, because after all, Great Britain is the land where Adam Smith drew his aspiration for wealth of the nations. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Shaoyang. There's so many advantages to getting old. I can't think of any now. But free market, collaboration, and there was no American accent. Remember when it suited America, that was the narrative of the world. Now we hear it in a Chinese accent. Like I say, there are advantages to be older. I mean,
well, we talk about globalization, right? The English also become globalized, and different people from different parts comes with different accents.
Your accent is perfect. It is amazing how the narrative changes depending on who's on top and who's not on top. So the reason we like to showcase your story is it's a phenomenal story. I am sure a phenomenal story, always have got detractors. This morning we started with Barrick. I remember a Barrick that was in a class of its own. We heard about a different Barrick, a Barrick that nearly fell over, got saved. I know if you go on social media, you see lots of negative press about any mining company. So your operating model takes you into Africa. What is the negatives? What is the negative feedback you get as a Chinese company in Africa? Are you not using locals to run your mines? I mean, I know the environmental story keeps on, but in Africa you have to comply with Africa. So give us the negative. What do you hear negatively about your company?
I think that one thing I like to come over to an event like this is really we together as a group talking about issues that are facing the industry.
All of us, yeah.
And particularly not really picking up, as I said, not picking up or forcing somebody to pick a side, or not really targeting one company or one particular group of company. Because the whole group, the whole industry has always been facing one problem or the other. And I believe that morning somebody mentioning the example of First Quantum, facing significant amount of difficulties in Panama. So it really, mining itself is a risky business. And to be fair, that the host countries will have their own view. It's not really one particular company, one particular project, or in one area. It's really we together, and we really need to come up with idea as to how to overcome those negative views in a particular host countries. Because on the one hand, that the mining company, particularly the global one, multinational one, they do have access to the resources, and during the process, we bring with the capital, we bring with technology, we bring, come also with the risk. But the host nations, what they see is really, the resources are being utilized and the profit being taken away by those investors or global company without really understanding, what kind of inputs and what kind of risks are associated with those efforts. So we believe that it's very important that we can do the business in a way that is transparent, that we are engaging, all the stakeholders, and so that we can really win the support. As I pointed out in my presentation, one of the most important successful factor is really to get the support of the local communities. And during the process, you really need to have a very engaging approach and being able to communicate effectively to the local communities and understanding what are the pros and cons factors, pretty much impacting almost all the projects.
So, thank you very much, Shaoyang. I'm going to get this right before the end of this conference, I promise. Shaoyang, so one of the narratives is, but Chinese companies come to mine for China, which I find interesting because we all mine to have a product that we sell somewhere. Where does your product go? Where does your gold go? Where does your copper go? Where does your zinc go? Where does your lithium go?
So, we don't have enough time, otherwise that just on your question, we can subject to discussion, and I think there is a significant amount of misperception.
Exactly.
And, apparently that not just for us or, what you call the Chinese company, I would like to call it really all the mining companies that need to do a better communicating work. And answering more directly with your question, we are purely market-driven. And the reason that we sell our products to China is not, we are from China, we're a global company. It's really, China is where market is. Because you can ask some question to Rio Tinto.
Yeah.
Why you are selling all the iron ore to China? right? Apparently, they are not Chinese company. That is where the market is. If today the demand is not in China, demand is in Europe, the overwhelming majority of our products will be to Europe. And for us, the key driver is really to deliver the best shareholder interest, shareholder value to our shareholders. Pretty much, we are not operating differently from our other peers in the industry.
Thank you. I had more than one person coming up to me lunchtime and say, I am anonymous. No, you're all anonymous. Unless you put your name there, you come through. So Matt, it's not only you. Okay. But this is clearly Matt. No, anonymous question from somebody anonymous. You're blushing, is it you? Is cooperation with Western miners, as you did with Ivanhoe on KK, now impossible given your recent experience in Canada with Solaris?
I'm not commenting on whether it's possible or not. For us, everything is possible. We will try all the efforts to work, as I said, to work with any potential partners. And during our past 10 years, we have been working with partners or investors, across a really broad, range of different countries and different regions. And apparently that we have to be in compliance with all the regulatory, requirements, either in the host countries or with a transaction with a potential partner. And if we are subject to that regulatory, that kind of requirement, and then we will go through the process. But again, that I would still emphasize that for the benefit for all stakeholders, having this kind of open concept, the kind of cooperative spirit is really good, not just for us, virtually for anybody in the industry. That's our view.
Mr. Shen, the reason we like to have a platform where you come and share and you allow us to openly engage with you so that we can address perceptions, misperceptions, and perhaps narratives that get told about significant players in our industry. In the end, as you say, as miners, we face so many things that are similar. So thank you very much for the open engagement, and thank you for being here in person.
Thank you very much for having this opportunity. Thank you.